Back in 2008, something happened that brought the entire world's economy to its knees. It was a crisis that completely reshaped our world, and its story, believe it or not, doesn't start in some high-tech boardroom. It starts with something much more familiar, the dream of owning a home. So let's break down how that simple dream turned into a global nightmare.
And that really is the question, right? How on earth could one single country's housing market cause a total global meltdown? It seems kind of impossible when you think about it, but it happened. And understanding how it happened is really the key to understanding the world we're all living in today.
Before we dive into all the complicated financial jargon, let's start with the human cost. Just look at this number, 8.7 million. That's how many jobs were lost in the US alone. This crisis wasn't just about numbers on a screen, it was about real lives being turned completely upside down.
So, where do we even begin? Well, like any huge disaster, this thing didn't just happen overnight. The seeds for it were planted years and years earlier, during what actually seemed like a pretty great time of prosperity. Okay, so here's the setup. In the early 2000s, you had these incredibly low interest rates, which basically made borrowing money super cheap. And what did that do? It fueled a massive boom in the housing market. I mean, everyone wanted a piece of the American dream, and for a while there, it looked easier than ever to get it. And right at the heart of this housing boom was this one key term, the subprime mortgage. This was the main ingredient in the toxic cocktail that was being mixed. See, these weren't your standard safe home loans. Nope. They were specifically offered to borrowers with shaky credit, which made them incredibly risky right from the start. And you gotta understand, these risky loans weren't just available, they were aggressively pushed onto people. Why? Well, because they generated these huge upfront fees for the lenders, making them profitable right away. Lenders were literally targeting vulnerable borrowers, often with super confusing terms and payments that would explode down the line. The system was practically designed to fail. This wasn't just business, it was predatory. Okay, so you've got millions of incredibly risky loans out there. That's a big problem for sure, but it's not a global catastrophe. Not yet. For that to happen, we have to turn our attention to Wall Street and this incredibly complex machine they built. Yeah, this is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? If these loans were so obviously bad, so risky, how were they sold to investors all over the world as being safe? The answer is a kind of financial magic trick called securitization. It was like alchemy, turning financial lead into what looked just like gold.